AgriMet agricultural weather stations are available all around Oregon for irrigators, farmers, and water managers. They support irrigation scheduling and crop growth while minimizing water loss. These stations are also used to understand weather and water use patterns over time. AgriMet offers high-quality, free, publicly available information specific to irrigated land. In this video, we're going to show you how AgriMet works, why it works, and how you can use it to optimize the benefits you get from the water that's available.
This information that's available through the AgriMet provides a really reliable, solid number about crop water use and potential crop water use for crops that are grown in a specific area. And so agricultural professionals, irrigators can use it for things like scheduling their irrigation, designing irrigation systems, decisions around fertilizer, pesticide use, even just like germination and planting, when to plant crops.
So we started working with the Oregon Water Resources Department after they were provided funding along with Oregon State University to expand or develop a new agricultural network of weather stations across the state. When I took over, we had 71 stations, and when this project's done, we'll be at 158. So by expanding stations, we're filling in gaps on our spatial extent of our network. There's a lot of areas that are underrepresented for ET data, or agricultural-based weather stations. It's been a great feat to, in 6 months, have 30 stations on the ground. These are meant to be used over a large extent, so this station will be applicable in this entire valley.
For the extension service, we're supposed to support the agricultural producers, and we definitely wanted to incorporate high-value data that can help them save water and time their ag operations to improve any sort of efficiencies that they can, and to ultimately provide more yield and quality for their crops that they're producing. We benefit indirectly by helping and serving the community, and so it's just this positive feedback loop of, we're in the business of generating data and information and providing that information to the community, and this is just another amazing tool and collection of instruments that allows us to do that.
That was a big motivation for us, is being able to partner with Oregon State. These are folks that are located in local county or regional offices that have expertise on specific crops and relationships developed with local agricultural growers, irrigators. And so that really enabled us to site stations at places like Dinsdale Farm and really have that relationship with the grower and the community already developed.
So this is a 1,000-acre piece of property. We pasture out beef cattle pairs from Central Oregon part of the year. And then we have 150 acres of wine grapes and then around 140 acres of hay. My family owns the property, and Two Rivers Vineyard is my business.
And I live here on the farm, so when anything happens, day or night, I'm the phone call that gets to happen. So what's going to really be nice here is we'll kind of have a good centralized weather station that can send us on, by the minute, what's really going on and give us a better idea of what's down here.
My goal over time has been to use the water efficiently instead of just using all the water. Obviously, conserving it to be farming in a sustainable way. And so being able to identify things that may or may not have been overwatered that we can now control, which also in turn controls cost, whether it's hay or vineyard. So being able to efficiently use what we need and leave what we don't need for others, or just the rivers in general.
The thing that's really amazing about these stations is that they are located in these prime agricultural areas. It kind of differentiates them from a lot of other weather networks where stations are located around at airports or in a parking lot, or so the information that provides is much more conditioned and accurate to irrigated agricultural settings, which can have a big impact on our crop water use calculations.
So in an agricultural setting, you're going to have higher humidity, lower temperatures, whereas in more of a native vegetation setting, generally it'll be hotter, drier, which isn't representative of the field conditions.
One of the ways in which these stations calculate that crop water use is they take in all this weather data that they collect through the various sensors that are on here, and they calculate sort of this like reference value of water loss off of a typical like grass field. And then what we do on the research side is that we spend a lot of time and effort developing these coefficients that relate to a specific crop. So pear tree or a grapevine or an alfalfa field or something like that. And we apply those coefficients to that reference value, and it allows us to then determine how much water that crop is using. The techniques that people used to use in the past to develop those coefficients have improved a lot. So we were able to use those new techniques to basically develop new and improved coefficients, for example, for our vineyards in the valley. And we discovered that the old coefficients were overestimating water use in vineyards by almost like 40%.
The station has a 1-second scan rate, so every second is scanning all the sensors, and then every 15 minutes it creates a data point, and every hour, like I said, we collect the data from our server in Boise and post it to our website. We look at all the data points every day. We also have an automated process as the data comes in. If anything's too high, too low, out of bounds, rate of change is too high, it flags it and sends us an email.
It's not a big, giant, flat open area. It's all these little tucked away valleys and places. And so getting that more localized information is only going to help the agricultural economy, because the farmers are going to make better decisions and they're going to be more efficient with their limited resources. Saves water and power, because you need pumps to move the water around. If it's going to inform any sort of other ag operations that you're going to do, you're going to save money in terms of reduced labor costs, reduced fuel costs. Time and money is like what we don't have enough of, and something like this is just one small way to help save a little bit of that. And when you scale it up to the regional area, it really provides more accurate estimates of basin-wide water use numbers.
The stations that we installed in the Harney Basin were motivated by this Harney Basin groundwater study, and one of the locations we put was at an alfalfa farmer's field near Crane, and it's really led to some reductions in the amount of groundwater that they have been pumping and applying to their field, because they're kind of irrigating based on the demand of the crop rather than kind of the standard irrigation practices that they had before. If their neighbors are able to see that they're able to produce the same crop yield, or maybe even have improved crop yields while reducing the amount of groundwater that they have to pump, that's a success and leads to more conservation.
One of the main reason we use them during the growing season is to help us schedule irrigation, not only here at the experiment station, but we provide this information and send updates to our agricultural community. We typically provide this information on a regular basis and help people, use water in the most efficient way possible.
So if people are interested in accessing our data, it's available on our website. All the stations update every hour. We have our daily summary data, we have crop water use data, there's all kinds of information available on our website.